Hi, this is Matthew Almeida. Today is October 13th, and today is Friday the 13th also. And when we say Friday the 13th, we remember it is spooky, horror. So, why it is made in that way, why it is portrayed as a very horrible, horrible day, that we will discuss. And we will discuss about some special events that are today, that is October 13th. First of all, today is National Cinema Day, and on this day you can watch any movie at rupees 99. I came to Mangalore today to watch a very special movie called Osmita. It is made on the history of Konkani language and how it traveled around India. I will give a review about it because in on 20th October it is releasing in Goa. There are very very good things, very nicely portrayed about Konkani language and the Konkani culture. But there are some historical events that they have mentioned which may not be accurate, which needs lot of study. And as far as I have read the references and documents earlier, I found it little misguiding. So that we will discuss in another video. Maybe after 1 or 2 days, I will come up with that video. Today is also October 13th, the last apparitions at Fatima in Portugal. As we know, in 1917, in Fatima, Portugal, Our Lady appeared to three shepherd children. I also had my doubts about it. After studying about it, researching about it, especially the news report that I read about this apparition, which was published in a very popular newspaper at that time. And given the circumstances of Portugal at that time, it was a atheistic secular government that was in power. So there was this secular atheistic government that was in power in Portugal, which was not tolerating any religious beliefs and all. So, given this environment and the miracles that more than thousands of people experienced, I was compelled to believe in it. The other thing that I want to discuss about is the Israel Palestine war. Now, what is happening is in India also people are siding with any of the two nations given their religious beliefs. Now, mostly if you will see Muslims, they will go on the side of the Palestinians, whereas the others will go on the side of Israel, and some of them, especially the unbelievers, will do it purposely to tease the other community. Now, some people try to view at the history of Israel or Palestine only from 1939 or 1946 onwards, but we have to go much before that. We know that Israel is the only nation that realized itself as a nation or declared itself as a nation many many years back. We find these proofs in the Bible also. Now you say just because it is written in the Bible, but that is not so. When the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered, we know that it was written at least in 500 BC. So it becomes evident that the claim that they had, the idea of nation that they had, is much much old. Then the Roman Empire took over that area. They named it as Palestine. Then Byzantine Empire took over, and then the Turkish Empire took over, and then finally it were British who were there. Many of us feel that it was always Palestine. No, it is not so. It was British. British, when they were going, they made it into Palestine and Israel, and lot of history, lot of mess there. I would suggest you watch news channel reporters like Ravish Kumar and Abhisar Sharma or even Dhruv Rathi, who gives a lot of info about this. Okay, but one point that I wanted to make clear is that Israel always had that idea of nation. However, innocent people are suffering in both the countries. Children are being killed in both the countries. So we should be at the side of peace and not siding with any one nation. Terrorism is evil, as well as war in itself gives no solutions, no permanent solutions. It will always become a chain of violence. So let us pray for Palestine and Israel. Innocent people are suffering in both the countries. Let us pray for peace. Let's see what happens. Let us pray that our leaders have some sense to bring about peace and not escalate the situation by, hate comments against each other. And finally, why Friday the 13th is portrayed as such a horrible day. Actually, it has to do with the history of the Knight Templars. Now we know that Knight Templars was a organization of knights, soldiers, formed in around the 12th century. Now, the duty of these knights was to protect the pilgrims that were going to Jerusalem. Jerusalem at that time was captured by the Turks. Crusades were fought to recapture Jerusalem, and many times on the way, these pilgrims were looted. So, the Knight Templars had the duty to protect them, and they were also involved in fighting some fights like the Crusades also. Now, these would take the three vows which the religious men or women take, that is, obedience, poverty, and chastity. They were super rich, but no single person or no single member could claim their ownership over these riches. It was a jointly owned wealth, and that wealth was mostly used for the poor. The check system that we have in the banks today, thanks to the Knight Templars, they are the ones who gave it to us. So what they would do is, at one point they would collect the wealth of the person, write it on a paper, how worth it is, and when the pilgrim reached the other end, they could collect either in money or the items equivalent to what they had given at the starting point. So now what happened is, King Philip, started getting little concerned about the rising power and influence which the Knight Templars had. So, because of this, he succeeded to manipulate Pope Clement V and convincing him to disband the Knight Templars. And he went to such an extent to convince the Pope to even finish them off. So they were accused of satanic worship, idolatries, and homosexuality, and whatnot. And finally, what happened is, the last knight, that was the Grand Master, who was the in charge of the Knight Templars, that is Jacques de Molay. Jacques de Molay was the last one to be burnt at stake on 13th October 1307. This is the reason why it is called as Friday the 13th, because that day was a Friday. And it is said that when he was being burnt at stake, he cursed both of them, the Pope and the King Philip. And you accept it or not, within that year only both of them died. Uh, Now, some people hold on to the belief that some of the members survived and they formed a secret society called the Illuminati. And these are, people who practice Freemasonry, that is, worship of the devil or the demons. And they always plan to do something against the church. So, they say that they are responsible for many of the events, historical events that have happened, which are, anti-church, like the French Revolution and so on and so forth. So whether that is true or not, I really can't prove it based on any facts. So this is all special about today, that is Friday the 13th or October 13th. As people who have faith, let us pray to Our Lady of Fatima for peace in Israel and also in Ukraine and Russia. In Fatima, Our Lady gave the three secrets and asked for the consecration of Russia to the Immaculate Heart and consecration of each one of us to the Immaculate Heart. So let us pray for peace, and hope you enjoyed your National Cinema Day. And as I said, I will make a video on the review and comments about the movie Asmitai. I don't want to make it now because I don't want to give spoilers about that movie. It may create tensions in Goa. It may escalate some of the issues that have been happening during these days in Goa. But giving certain historical bases and references, I think certain misunderstandings need to be cleared, which we are planning to do. So I'm gathering information. Let's see what can be done about it, and we will surely do something about it. It's a wonderful movie, and one of our Goan, Prince Jacob, has featured in that movie. Beautifully displayed, uh, displayed the culture, like the original olden Goan culture, the tribal culture that we had. Beautiful. Only thing is, the Inquisition topic is brought here, and who are the victims of Inquisition also has been manipulated, and I have concerns on that because justice has to be done with the victims. We can't call somebody else as a victim. So yes, let me just gather some information and all, and I will come with a video on that. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.